Hello? Ooh, geckos. Sometimes they fornicate. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I share information about my trip to Barbados, the welcome stamp visa, and travel in general. And just as a full disclosure, I normally try to write a script before I start to film. Today I'm not doing that because I'm just going off the cuff because I'm still a little bit riled up from what's been happening. It has been a nightmare. I don't want to make it seem like I'm ungrateful, because I'm not. I love this country. The people are great. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. We have seen some beautiful places. We are staying at a lovely Airbnb right now, but this has been the bane of my existence. I've had stress-induced diarrhea all morning. It's not a good situation. So we arrived here early October and we stayed in an Airbnb, which we are still in. We have it until December 4th. I don't know if or when I'll post this video, so either way, we stayed here for a month and a half. Our thought process was, we'll stay here, we'll see if we like the area, we'll see if we like the Airbnb, maybe we'll stay at the Airbnb the whole time. Maybe we'll stay in this area but in a different place. Maybe we'll stay somewhere altogether. We just didn't know what we wanted to do. But there was a really good discount for the first month and a half that we booked this, so we decided, let's do this. It's close to the beach, it's got a nice layout, it seems to be close to a supermarket, we don't really need a car at this point, let's do it. So we booked it. Great. Got here, it was good. The host has been amazing. No complaints about that. So then, at the beginning of November, probably like a week or two in, so maybe in Barbados' defense, we left this a little bit till the last minute. We reached out to a realtor to figure out what our next step would be, because we decided, as much as we liked this area, as much as we liked this Airbnb, we wanted to try somewhere else. So we emailed the realtor and she had started to help us. So we've had the same realtor from start to finish, if there ever is a finish, because it's still not even over yet. We sent her a bunch of stuff that we'd found on the website that we really liked. It all seemed to be a reasonable price. They looked like nice places. A lot of these places had pools right on site, whether it was a private pool or a shared apartment pool. There was just so many benefits to this, and we could lock in a lease. We could be here in whatever place we chose for the rest of our time, which is until the end of March at this moment is the plan. So we'd been back and forth with her a bunch, and basically, to make a long story short, there were so many apartments that we liked and then they would get rented, or they would be taken down. We didn't really know why. We didn't know what was happening. There was one we zoned in on that we loved. It was up the coast a little bit to the north, up where it's a bit quieter. It was right on the beach and it had a pool at the complex. It was like a 2-story townhouse, really nice looking place, very reasonable price. We wanted to jump on that. We wanted that one. We found out it wasn't available until January, and we're out of here in December. So we essentially needed to find somewhere to bridge that gap. The owner of this place said, well, I have a boutique hotel on the East Coast. You could stay there for December to January. I'll give you a good rate, and then you can move into the other one on the North or the West Coast. Great, we were good. We saw videos of the places, we liked them both. We were like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Then we hadn't heard from our realtor in a couple days, and she emailed us saying that the owner now was upping the price of the West Coast place. He had it rented or something, like there was another date block kind of situation, and then the East Coast apartment was all booked out except for one room. So basically he just started stuffing things around. So we said, forget this plan, we don't want to do this the hotel anymore. We'll find somewhere else and we'll go down the list. So lots of the places again had been rented out from the list, but we had one that had been on the list for a very long time, which is this cottage that we love. And then there were a couple new apartments that had come up. They were reasonably priced. They were kind of like right in the hustle and bustle of the tourist area. They had pools at the complexes, and we were like, perfect, let's have a look at these 3. The day before we went to look, our realtor emailed us that one had been rented out. So we now were down to viewing 2 apartments and the cottage. One apartment, it was the first one we saw. It's the most expensive. It was kind of like inland, not really close to the beach. It was we'd need a car, so like the expenses I think would just add up, and it wasn't the location that would kind of suit us best. It was in a very commercial area where there's lots of shopping, and I don't shop, clearly. So that became our third choice in the end of everything, so I'm just gonna kind of like push that one to the side and not really mention it. And then we went and saw the one in Rockley, which is the touristy area. It was the apartment. It overlooked the golf course from the patio, like stunning views, absolutely stunning. I can only imagine how nice the sunsets are from there. It was a very viable option. We both did really like it, and we wanted to keep that one on the table. The cottage we loved, but it's in the middle of the country, so we would need to lease a car. The only other issue with the cottage was we were just a little worried about the internet. So Sean just wanted to make sure that if he needed to make some changes to the internet, that wouldn't be a problem, that he could connect and kind of hook up whatever to make sure that he was able to work with no issues. So we sent our realtor a message saying we had a couple questions. So this was all last night. We said we wanted to know if the landlord would be willing to work with us on internet if that was an issue, and the price and the available dates for the apartment. So this morning we woke up after I stressed endlessly about this whole situation. We're trying to figure out the prices of leasing a car and a bunch of other logistical stuff in case we got the cottage. And we didn't know what to do because we really liked both places. The thing is, they were two very different places, and they would end up having two very different lifestyles attached to them. So we were really conflicted about what to do. Said the apartment was not available until January and gave us the price of that one. The price was fine, but the fact that someone it was available and then rented it out for a month was just, I don't know why this keeps happening. I don't know if this is a normal thing here or how this normally works, but I was like, forget it. I think we can just do the cottage. We'll figure out the car situation, and as long as the internet's not going to be an issue, I say let's go with the cottage, because otherwise we have to rent out an Airbnb for another month and then move into this apartment for 3 months. It's a lot. I kind of just want to get settled somewhere. And the way we'd both been talking about the cottage, it was like the cottage was really the first choice. It was just the barriers in the way, including the car and the chicken, including the car and the internet. But I was like, we'll figure that out, in my opinion. As long as the internet's good, we'll figure out the car and we'll go from there. We wake up this morning to an email from our agent saying that the cottage has no washing machine. So we basically instantly eliminated that one because she said there's a laundromat down the road. Well, that's fine, but if we ended up not having a car for the full time, that would not work. Additionally, I do laundry every 1 to 2 days, and I'm not going to get into too many details about that, but because of the humidity and like workout clothes and that kind of thing, I basically just prefer to do it every couple of days so that I A, keep on top of the laundry, and B, it's not just like a damp pile of sweat clothes, because it is humid as, I don't even know what to compare it to here. It is very, very humid, so I like to stay on top of the laundry. So we emailed her back and we said, if that is the case with the washing machine, we would like to go ahead and sign for the apartment for January to March. The end. Let's get this done. And then we started looking at Airbnbs. We looked at Airbnbs for like 2 hours this morning just to be ready for anything. And in the meantime, she emails us and says, the owner of the cottage is now looking to buy a washing machine because he sees it as a long-term investment for future tenants as well. And so he is going to go shopping for washing machines this morning. First of all, bless his heart. Like, the people here truly are amazing. But now we're still up in this limbo of we don't know where we're gonna live. We have this list of Airbnbs ready in case we decide to rent the apartment, but knowing our luck, the apartment will be rented by the time we make that decision, if we get there. Or we end up staying at the cottage with a washing machine, hopefully. We just don't know. What I can say is this has been a gong show. I don't know if it's because of the time of year, because we are so close to the holiday season. Like, it's the end of November. Maybe despite the pandemic, people are still coming here to travel. It's just been crazy. I'm like I said, I'm physically unwell because this has been such a gong show. And I'm like trying to tell people and like keep people in the loop back home. because I've been doing like little polls. We literally couldn't decide what we wanted to do, so I made an Instagram poll of should we stay at the cottage or an apartment. Here's the pros of both, and the cottage ended up winning actually, but I don't know, it's just been a tough decision. And then once we made a decision, it's like, it's crazy. And this seems to always happen to me when I travel. I don't know if I'm cursed or if, like, because I'm a really organized person. I don't think that's the issue, but I don't know. It's been crazy. So I hope we find somewhere to live, because we have 1 week left in this Airbnb. And so where we end up staying, I don't know. I know it's going to be great no matter where it is. There seems to be a lot of good options out there, but as I say that, I'm like, what's going to fall through? And are we going to have to live in a van, like Sean has been joking for the past month? Because there's been a van for sale down the road near the beach, and he's like, oh, we'll just buy that and we'll live in that. I'm like, okay, and we'll eat at Chefette's every weekend and have diarrhea in the van. Anyways, that's my rant for today. Thanks for listening. Bye.